Hey everybody, I'm Brian from BrianKeaneFitness.com. Here are 6 facts about fat loss and why it's not an easy journey. So when it comes to fat loss, it really is as straightforward as getting into a calorie deficit. If your maintenance calories are 2000 and you eat 1800 calories per day, you're going to lose body fat for the 99.9% of the population. Although it's that straightforward, it's not that easy to follow sometimes. And here are some of the reasons why. Reason number 1, it's not easy designing your own plan. When it comes to nutrition, you have a couple of different options. You work with a coach, you work with a trainer, you work with a nutritionist or a dietitian, and they design your plan for you and you follow it. Alternatively, you can consume podcasts, videos online, different blog posts and books, and design your own nutritional plan. But if you do it that way, it's going to be a lot harder because you're not the expert. And sometimes there's a real misalignment of expectations when you're designing your own plan. So the advice I generally offer is if you're designing your own nutritional plan, give yourself a long runway of time to experiment with different things that work for you. And truth be told, the advice is similar if you're working with a coach and nutritionist. Find somebody who connects with you. If you're dying to do a keto style diet, start following those coaches online and potentially work with a keto coach. If you want to work with somebody that's more sustainable and takes a long-term approach to nutrition and tries to find what's going to be a good fit for you, then something like my program or other similar coaches with similar philosophies will work great for you. But you also have to work with them in order to find what's going to work well for you. But remember, you have to do the work. Even if you're working with a coach or a trainer or a nutritionist or dietitian, they're going to design the plan for you, but they're not going to eat any of your meals for you. You're either going to have to do the meal prep yourself or outsource it to another company to do it, but you're going to have to do the work yourself. So either way, there's going to be a level of difficulty whether you design your own plan or work with a coach, so align your expectations accordingly. Fact number 2, you might get hungry. This is especially true if you're designing your own plan. Calorie deficits don't equal hungry. Calorie deficit with low nutrient food equals hungry. And that's the risk you run when you design your own plan. So my advice would be try and stick with nutrient-dense whole foods as much as possible. Lots of fruits and vegetables, complete protein sources, chicken, fish, turkey, lean mince, complex carbohydrates, sweet potatoes, oats, rice, and some healthy fats, avocado, almond butter, olive oil. Stick with nutrient-dense foods in a calorie deficit and you won't be hungry. Stick with nutrient-dense foods in a calorie deficit and your energy levels will be higher, which means you move around more, which means you'll probably burn extra calories, which will further support fat loss. So if you're feeling hungry on a fat loss plan, you might want to look at your food choices. Fact number 3, you will mess up. The nature of the beast when it comes to nutrition is it's not going to be 100% all of the time. That goes for a fat loss goal, that goes for a body compositional change goal, building muscle, goes for overall health and performance. Life's not about being on one big diet. There's going to be days when you fall off track. There's going to be days when you mess up, but it's how you respond to that that's going to be important. It's so tempting when fat loss is your goal and you fall off your plan to just press the fuck it button and just eat everything around you. That doesn't help either. If you've had one bad meal, you reset and you go again. If you've had one bad weekend, you reset and you start back on Monday. Pressing the fuck it button because you've eaten one bad meal or had one bad day is like driving down the road, having a flat tire and then slashing the other 3 tires. You wouldn't do that with your car, don't do it with your diet. Point number 4, you'll need to be patient. Fat loss is largely a patience game, sprinkled in with aligning the right expectations. If you've been overweight for the last 6 years, you're not going to lose all of that weight and reduce all that body fat in 6 weeks. So you need to align your expectations and you need to be patient. As long as you're progressing in the right direction, your body fat is reducing or your weight is coming down based on what you're tracking, then you keep moving forward and doing what you're doing. On the flip side, if what you're doing isn't working, you have feedback that you need to change direction with your plan. You need to drop your calories further, you need to increase your output, i.e. move more, you need to change your gym program, you need to focus on the other things like sleep and recovery. But you have feedback that something needs to change if you're not progressing. When it comes to fat loss, think long term and be patient with it. If it took you 6 years to put on all that weight, you're not going to lose it in 6 weeks. You might lose it in 6 months, but again, align your expectations as you need to. Point 5, you'll need to be consistent. When it comes to fat loss, consistency over intensity wins every single time. It's very tempting when you have a fat loss goal to go intense. Drop calories way too low, exercise or move several hours a day, just trying to burn as many calories as you can. But that doesn't work over the long term. Tell me how you eat every day, and I'll tell you how you'll look in a year. Tell me how much you move every day, your step count, your workouts. I'll tell you how your body composition will look in a year. When it comes to fat loss, consistency is key. If you have a bad day, you reset and you go again. If you miss a workout, you get back into the gym or you hit your step count the following day. It's about doing the right things more often than you do the wrong things. And adjust in your mindset when you do fall off track. But remember, be consistent. Consistency over intensity. And the final point, it will all be worth it. As I mentioned at the top of the video, fat loss is very straightforward. Eat less calories than your body needs so that you can tap into your fat stores and use that for fuel. It's really that straightforward and simple, but it's not that easy to apply. But because of that, when you actually get to your end goal and you get to your fat loss and body compositional goal, you end up feeling better and it becomes worth it. And how you lose your body fat is going to be important because you can do it in a multitude of ways. You can go on a bar and a shake diet and massively reduce your calories and lose body fat that way. But you're probably not going to be able to stick to it long term. You can go on a crash diet and eat salad for lunch every single day for 6 weeks. But again, you're probably not going to be able to stick with that over the long term and you'll break the consistency rule we talked about already. So how you lose fat is important. Look at your nutrition. Get into a calorie deficit with foods you enjoy. Look at your training or your movement, hitting a step count every day, working out at home or going to the gym, and what you can stick to consistently over time. Look at your sleep. Look at your recovery. Make sure your mindset is right so you're not feeling too stressed and your cortisol levels aren't elevated through the roof because of a hard day. But in the end, when you hit your fat loss goal, it will all be worth it. So keep that end in mind because that's what's going to keep you on track on the days when you feel like pressing the fuck it button. That's what's going to keep you on track on the days that you feel like you're not progressing as fast as you want. That will keep you on track on the days when you don't feel like doing it anymore. Remember, it will all be worth it in the end. So there you have it, 6 facts for fat loss and why it's not an easy journey. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video. Any of them jump out at you? And as always, if you like this video, hit that like button. It'll help on the algorithm, and hit that subscribe for videos coming each and every week.